Our inaugural address today will be delivered by our guest of honor, the Honorable Najib Balala, Elder of the Golden Heart, Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife in Kenya. He is the longest serving minister in the government, which is a testament to the immense public service that he has done for the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Honorable Balala on the stage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's a pleasure to be here in this event of IDE and talking to a very important subject of redefining hospitality. But also, it's my first time to come to this beautiful hotel. I can see Movenpick has just opened. I want to congratulate them. We are proud that new projects are coming into Nairobi and new hotels are opening up. I see what you have. I have a bit of some information about Movenpick, Nairobi, but I'll talk to you about it later. But once again, I want to say thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm glad I see quite a number of people who I know as well, but I'm here now and we want to talk about this redefining African hospitality. First of all, I want to say that how come all of a sudden everybody is focusing on Africa? And that's why I put that slide, Africa is rising. Africa is rising in every aspect, in terms of the population, in terms of the GDP, in terms of opportunity, in terms of the land is diverse and has all the products that investors can come in and take advantage. But also, look at the international figures of tourism. Last year, international travel arrivals worldwide was 1.3 billion arrivals. That's huge. And it's expected by 2030, 1.8 billion arrivals. The growth that we are seeing, that's about 7–8%, that grows globally. And you could see what we expect here in Africa. For every 9 tourists or 9 travelers, 1 job is created worldwide. And tourism has become a powerful economic driver in the world. It's more than construction, it's more than manufacturing, it's more than oil and gas. So it's very powerful. In Africa, 62 million arrivals. It's a small percentage in comparison to what the global arrivals are. But the opportunities are huge to increase that number. And the next frontier is Africa in terms of travel. You could see an 8% out of the global number. In Kenya, again, very small. Sometimes I stand up in the international meetings and I say I come from Kenya, and everybody says, well, Kenya is famous, it has the big 5, you have the marathoners. When they ask me how many people come to Kenya, I tell them 1 million, 1.4 million. They tell me I'm not serious. Zimbabwe has 1.7 million. Why? Zambia has 2 million arrivals. So I ask myself, what do we do to make these arrivals right? And these 1.4 million is despite the difficult year of 2017, we had a 9.8% growth. And for our first time, in terms of receipts, we had a record of $1.2 billion revenue for the country. Even when we had 1.89 arrivals in 2011, 2012, our receipts were still less than $1 billion. But now we have surpassed. And it's not because our currency was weaker. No, the currency is still the same. It's because we have more spending now. And more spending has come in because of the domestic market. There's a powerful domestic market that we have not even tapped yet, and is coming in. All these hotels you're building is not necessarily for international markets. It's for the domestic market. And this is what we are counting on. 47% of the revenue of 1.2 billion came from the domestic market. It's huge. So what are we doing right? Or what are we doing wrong that we need to put right? So we want to define hospitality. Why are we defining hospitality today? Because we have a new target, clientele, the millennials. They are impatient, they have no time to waste, and they want to discover, and they want to connect with the destination. And they have money, and they want to travel 3-4 times a year. But when they want to travel, they want to have an experience. This experience is not about a beautiful bed in a room, in a hotel room. It's no longer about hotel rooms. It's about experience. People want to feel the destination. And I can tell you, in Africa, quite a number of countries have taken this seriously. Rwanda, for example, is about the gorilla. It's an experience to be next to this giant silver-backed gorilla. That is an experience. Namibia is about the dunes, the sand dunes. And that's an experience. It's a desert, but it's an experience. That's why Dubai can introduce a desert safari and you wonder, what am I doing in the desert and do a safari? But it's an experience they created. South Africa, Cape Town, they're not just selling South Africa and the safari anymore, but they've created a cultural experience in Cape Town. That's why a museum like the Zayt Museum has come up. So what do we do here in Kenya to make that experience? We need experience, we need innovation to be put into it. This connection with people, experience, from the minute the visitor lands at the airport, the seamless biometric immigration office, that is an experience. When you come to Nairobi airport and you spend 1.5 hours on the queue, people are not going to be impressed, and they're not going to come back again. And that's why the Kenyan government has appointed 3 ministers to go and fix Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And I can tell you, we started the work in January. Today we are in May. There has been major improvement on that airport. They're not perfect, but we have been major improvement. All 1,600 employees of the airport have gone through a customer care training course at HOTELIER College. So that is what we are trying to make the staff at the airport. Is not about just doing your job. It's about creating an experience for the visitors who come in. Because without them, there's no revenue for the country and you have no salary for you. That's an experience. The hello, jambo, karibu, welcome, that's from the immigration officer. When it starts from there, then even the bouncer at the hotel, even the driver who takes you from the airport to your hotel, that's an experience. And then when you reach to the hotel, which is a huge investment like this, Who do you meet? It must be smiling, it must be connected. And I want to talk about Movenpick particularly. Who are the owners of Movenpick here? And the management, are they here? Management? Okay. I want to salute Movenpick. One of my staff came here, and she had dinner up at the View restaurant. And the minute she introduced herself, she says, well, you are new, when did you open, blah, blah, blah. This guy says, are you interested for us to take you around to show you the hotel? And he was selling how many rooms you have, how many restaurants you have, everything positive. This was a waiter, and the name is called Fred. Even the name, we have captured it. So the management should promote this guy. He's a good promoter. He did a sales pitch on somebody he never knows. And he didn't know that this person comes from my ministry. He just says, come, we'll show you. He called his colleague, Simon. Simon took time and took this person round all over the hotel. That is an experience. Till today in my office, we are talking about Fred and Simon. We're not talking about the bed is this way or that way, the shower is hot water, no hot water. We expect a bed that is working, or a bath that is working, or a Nespresso in the room. That is standard. That is normal. That should be the basics. Internet is working or not working. That is the basics, the basic of a hotel. But what was the catchy thing? Was Fred connecting with that client and Simon selling the product. That is what happened. And I want to salute Movenpick for a great job they have done. So it's experience. But imagine you come to the airport and the first thing you have a frowning immigration officer, rude. You said, now, am I coming on a holiday or I'm coming now to be bullied? So we need to change this element, particularly us in government. I can tell you, we in government, we are going to change. But we want to change throughout the value chain, from the taxi driver, to the bouncer, to the waiter, to the hotel receptionist. Every one of us must change. And that is what we do. And today with the millennials, it's about technology. It's about being innovative, being fun. Those days, I remember when I was in tourism 25 years ago, I started. It was about tourists come, sit on the beach, and they just turn colors. Yeah, they will come here, they enjoy the sun, the tanning takes place, and then goes back to the beach, to the room, eat, sleep, and come back. No activity. We are losing people or tourists because we are lacking innovation and activities in this country. And that's why Nairobi is booming. Because Nairobi has become a buzz at night. There are galleries for art and museums on their own small things. Restaurants coming in, unique restaurants with character and fun and color. And the hotel is beautiful. And that's why the government has realized Nairobi is no longer going to be a transit city. It's going to be a destination of its own. If you see, the president has just appointed the Nairobi Regeneration Committee. I don't know why I've been put there, but I'm now the chairman of that committee to change Nairobi. Because without Nairobi, we cannot build hotels. For example, I've come to this beautiful hotel. It's a huge investment. Look at the entry. What an experience. I got blocked for 10 minutes because somebody in the neighborhood is constructing another building. Where are the laws? Why impunity of the highest order that somebody is building and putting their concrete or their sand in front of a road? These are the things we want to correct. And I can assure you, things are going to be serious, and we must deliver. So in the next 6 months, you'll see major changes in Nairobi. You're going to see the Nairobi River being cleaned up. You're going to see the roads. I know the road is bad to here, but we are now spending 5 billion Kenya shillings. We have appointed 3, happens to be Chinese, but it doesn't matter. But we have looked for the best contractors in roads, and we have identified them, we have appointed them, and they're going to start the work. In 3 months' time, you will see difference in our roads. So we are trying to work and push as much as we can. And we as a national government, is not our responsibility. The primary responsibility lies on the county government, on the governor and his team. We in the national government, we are here to complement and support the governor. In fact, the 5 billion that is being invested into the roads now, for Nairobi alone, 2.6 billion has come from the national government as additional funding for it. So we are investing heavily in Nairobi because it's the capital. This is where the image of the country lies internationally. So we know the value of Nairobi, and we appreciate the investors who have come here, but we know Kenya is not just about Nairobi. It's about other parts of the country. But we need to create activities in other parts of the country. I think to sell beach and safari alone without life, nobody will come. And we have competition next door. We have competition in the neighborhood. I am not seeing competition with Tanzania or around the region. I see competition with Thailand. I see competition with the Bahamas and the Caribbeans. That is my competition, because I want to be better. So anybody coming for a long-haul destination into the country, they must get value for money. And that is what we are trying to achieve. But technology and innovation must be there. Look at Dubai, how they are selling. You see how people are flying from the sky, all the top type of innovations being created, amusement parks, water parks, all these are being created. Why can't we do them in this country and also in Africa? The opportunities are vast. But there's a big challenge. Sometimes it's either a perception or a reality. And I know some of you, when you came here, you must be worried. Is it safe? Is there Ebola? So this is the perception. People talk about safety, malaria, terrorism, Al-Shabaab, Ebola, insecurity. Nairobi night is bad. Yeah, traveling is difficult. Airport is corruption. Yeah, roads. Westgate is still remembered till today. And I want to give you the issue of Westgate. Till today, everybody I meet, they tell me, is Kenya safe? Still bombings are going on. What happened to Westgate? They remember even Westgate. But last year, on Westgate, we had almost 60 people who died. If I give you a list of incidents that happen all over the world, nobody will remember if they ever happened. Last year, Las Vegas attack, 58 people were shot, 800 injured. Nobody talks about it. I was with the CEO of the tourism Las Vegas. She was telling me, within a week, everything is back to normal. Why is this hypocrisy? When it comes to the Western world, let's stand with the Western world in solidarity against the vice of terrorism. When it comes to Africa, Africa is where the challenges are, and their sufferings are blown up in the international media as if that's the only image we have. And that's why when people want to book into Africa, that's the perception. But when they come here, this is the bag. This is the reality. Friendly people, beautiful places, natural, nice people, great, fantastic, climate. All the things what you could imagine, this is a survey we did on an exit survey. This is real. We did it ourselves. Every tourist, when they were exiting, we interviewed them. And these are the results. When they want to book, there was fear. When now they left, they now felt how connected they were with the destination. So this is important. And every tourist who comes here, a job is created. You can see the contribution to employment, 3.4% in 2016. Yeah? 2017 is because of the challenges we had. And the growth is growing as we are talking about. But we have a plan. We want to change this. We want by 2030, we have 5 million visitors come to this country. And that's why we have the national strategy. We got the best consultants, and today we are ready. In the next couple of weeks, we will launch this blueprint. And the blueprint, I'm sorry, is very clouded, but the blueprint has a major component. And I want to talk about the 4 key pillars of the blueprint. One is a product strategy. How do we improve our product? In buildings like this, the products, how do we get the experience done well? How do we improve it? And just, again, I want to repeat, it's not just a hotel bed or a hotel. It has to be all-inclusive. And a hotel cannot be just about rooms and a reception, and then there is no activity in that hotel. It must be funky. And that is what is required. Second is a marketing strategy, a clear marketing strategy. You identify your key markets, how to attack those markets, and the bottom line is about using technology in marketing. I can tell you, my Kenya Tourism Board is restructuring all that. All the money is going to be spent in technology and digital marketing. That is where we are going to go. The third one is investment. We need to invest beyond hotels. We need to build in amusement parks, other water parks, interesting things like cable cars, interesting products, and that's a major investment. And how do we give serious incentive to investors for them to invest? And it's not about just Nairobi, it's about all over the country. From MICE, in terms of conference facilities, and now we are in the process of appointing the National Convention Bureau that's going to be established, where we are going to bid internationally and bring conferences into these countries, because with the 10,000 new beds in Nairobi by 2021, we will need to make Nairobi busy to fill these rooms. And I'm calling the investors and the hotels who are in Nairobi. Come up with ideas, and I'm ready to partner with you to make Nairobi having a buzzing spirit at night and during the day, so your rooms are filled. And then the final one is infrastructure. And we have a clear strategy about infrastructure. Infrastructure on roads, infrastructure on airports, infrastructure on rail, every aspect of accessing the product must be built to access that product. So this is a very fundamental. And you could see on the edges, there's innovation and change, and on the other edge is base everything on research, sound research, and knowledge. And then we build on human capital. That is important. Human capital is key. Fred was the one that encouraged me to come to today's meeting. It was Fred and Simon. I don't know them, I've never even met them. I hope before I leave I'll meet them. But those are the two heroes of this hotel. Then institutional structures. We are going to look at our institutional structures from government, but also the private sector. I've directed the private sector Don't point a finger at government alone. Look at you or the private sector. What role do you contribute? These issues of having too many small little associations, come with one powerful association and you have the power and the muscle to face me face to face. So whenever I put a penny, you can put a penny. So we can support you in your business. And then how do we implement it? You know, government is traditionally known to build beautiful strategies and then they gather dust in hotels, in offices. But now we have a clear strategy that immediately we launch it, we know who is doing what job. And that strategy is going to be also launched on the 12th of June. And we are inviting all of you to come and we share with you our strategy so that whatever investment you are doing, it can be able to fit in our national policy. So with those remarks, I want to say thank you very much. I hope I have defined what African hospitality is all about. I know I talked about the general part of it, but I can tell you, try what is being developed now and you'll realize it's unique and different. So for those remarks, thank you very much once again and good morning.
Honorable Najib Balala, what can we say? I mean, the same way Fred and Simon had such a lasting impression on you, I think it's safe to say you have created a very lasting impression on not just us, but all of the delegates here today. And the Movenpick Hotel will be very happy to hear even your kind words for Fred and Simon and the hotel in general. So thank you very much for sharing your vision, sharing your strategy. And it gives us all hope that the future is going to be very, very bright, especially when we hit 2030 with the strategy that you have in place. So once again, thank you very much. As a token of our appreciation for you coming over here and spending your valuable time with us, we would like to present you with a memento as well as a small gift. In our hometown, we wear a shawl for special occasions. It's a sign of class and a sign of dignity. And I'd like to request our director, Mr. Ganesh Babu, to please come on the stage. And present you with the shawl. Thank you.